My people, how on a day? I am back again. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you listen to the sound of my voice. Fellow Biafrans, no time for introduction this time. As the saying goes, an organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. An organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Now, we saw the last court hearing of our leader Nnamdi Kanu when he was in the court of Binta Nyako, where he showed the whole world, he schooled the whole world, he showed them a taste of the aura of a Biafran man and woman. Today, the media now come with a new spin. They are spinning the news now that Nnamdi Kanu apologized to the court about his actions, his behavior to Justice Binta Nyako. I will take an easy this time. Make una hear this one. He didn't say anything like apology. They are saying that when the judge represented him or his legal team, they apologized based on how things went the last time. That doesn't mean it was Nnamdi Kanu who apologized, because you only apologize when you have done something wrong, when you offend somebody. But when you speak truth to power, only a coward will apologize when you have spoken truth to power. Because when you speak truth to power, power will then listen. And in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, the last court date, the whole world listened to him. And of a truth, Justice Binta Nyako had to finally recuse herself for the second time. So, but now they want to spin it around. The media in Nigeria, they want to spin it. Go and look at all the titles that they are saying Nnamdi Kanu apologized in court. He apologized. That's a fallacious statement. It is a fallacy to assume that a man who spoke truth to power somehow came to apologize today in court. You only apologize when you have done wrong. I hope that sinks in your mind. So now please follow me in this journey. Make we watch this video just to see a good recap of what happened in court, and also with the legal team, what they are saying about what happened. Because if you don't challenge this lie, they will turn around and make us look like cowards, that you said something and the next day you are coming to apologize. We apologize or bow down to no one. That's who we are. We have the warrior spirit. We are not scared of nobody. We respect all but fear none. We the Biafrans, we respect all but we fear none. At this point, let's take it back and listen to what happened today in court. One of the final recaps I'll be giving. If you're ready, let's go there. Watch this. This was when he was coming into the court. I'm giving you more like a recap of what happened today. Listen. He came in, everything was going fine. The man you are seeing there is part of the legal team now. Don't come and say that's the judge. Part of the legal team. Continue. Keep watching.
Thank you. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
You have finally gotten a new judge to handle your case. How do you feel about that?
Great, I suppose. Yes.
So what are your expectations from today's proceedings?
That justice will be done, of course, in accordance with the will of God. That's what I'm expecting.
Hold it there. What are you expecting? What are your expectations? That justice must be done. Of course. That's what I'm expecting. There is no plea from Nnamdi Kanu. No one should come and say he's now apologizing. I wonder where they got it from. They should speak the way things happened. If he said that, okay, his lead counsel apologized to the court or to the judge on how the last event happened that brought in this new judge, then that makes sense. But to say that Nnamdi Kanu apologized, that's a problem because that's a sign of weakness. And I know my leader. He will never do such. Let's continue.
If you use cast...
Listen.
We are ready to come the next day and let the prosecution present the witnesses. The apology that was issued in the court, I have copies of it, and I value. And at the end of the day, what's important is our client has respect, utmost respect for the court, for the prosecution, for his team. He's a good man. He's a gentleman. That is what he has demonstrated to me. Thank you.
Hold it there. Now you've heard what this man said. This was the spokesperson, the lead spokesperson. After the court ended, they said the apology that was tendered today in the court is to prove that their client is a good man and a respecter of, the system or whatever. It was the attorney that made the apology, which makes sense. We don't expect attorneys to be gangsters and rascals that will come and insult a judge. No. But if you give Nnamdi Kanu the chance to speak, he will speak truth to power. So don't twist it around and say he was the one that apologized. Don't say that. The attorney, they may have said whatever they said in court. That's fine. But that wasn't Nnamdi Kanu. When he spoke, we heard him clearly. Where he exposed Justice Binta Nyako of her husband and her son. So why will he now come and apologize? You only apologize when you lie on somebody, when you made a mistake, and when you make an uninformed decision or whatever. Let's continue.
My name is Lieutenant.
Can you tell us what transpired today in court?
Thank you very much. Well, today we have a new team
Listen.
of lawyers representing Nnamdi Kanu.
Hold it. Today, we have a new team of lawyers representing Nnamdi Kanu. Those new team, they were the ones that spoke in court as well. So that pleading you're talking about, it came from the new team, not from Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, they are representing Nnamdi Kanu, but don't come and say Nnamdi Kanu apologized in court. That's madness. Baloney. Baloney. Nonsense. Let's continue.
We have an addition, and they are in the persons of Chief Kanu Agabi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and Mr. Nnamdi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria.
Kanu Agabi San. Uchenna Njoko San. You see that? 2 SAN joined him in his team. They were the one that spoke with experience because the shame was too much for Nigeria. The last court case, the shame was too much. So it only makes sense that the attorney that will now speak, before they open the premise, the case for Nnamdi Kanu, they will have to do some restitutions to make sure everybody's is on board and under the same page. It makes sense. But don't come and say it was Nnamdi Kanu who came and said, "Oh, I am sorry. Last week or last time in court, I was so angry. I said what I said. I made a mistake." Don't do that to us. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know my leader very, very well. If I'm in his shoes, I will say what he said then, and I will say it again. We ain't cowards. We don't bow down or cower to nobody. Let's continue.
Both of them joined us,
Okay.
the old members of the team, to form a formidable legal team for Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
What transpired today is the reading of the charge to Nnamdi Kanu. Now they amended, it is now called an amended 7-count charge to Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
But before the charge, and Chief Kanu Adabi, after addressing the court, handed over to Chief Awomolo SAN, who responded very positively to say that he has removed everything that happened from his mind and that he understands and feels for Nnamdi Kanu, knowing that he has spent quite a number of years in detention.
Hold it there. Mr. Agabi SAN, after he has presented the case of Nnamdi Kanu, he then spoke to the, those who were bringing up the case against him about what transpired the other time. I said, yo, I understand, words were said. I apologize on behalf of my client. And the man said, yeah, the prosecutor said, yeah, I understand, his own perspective. He's been locked up for a long time, for 4 years. Nobody will be locked up for 4 years, and you come out and you're laughing, ha 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 ha, with anybody. That's what they're trying to say here. My job, the reason why I'm doing this video, is to clarify that Nnamdi Kanu did not apologize to anybody. He did no wrong. What he said in the last court hearing was not wrong. He didn't tell lies about what happened in the last court hearing. Let's continue.
The judge also spoke, on doing the same line to have a cordial working relationship, amend the charges. Before it was charge number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you now have
8
and 15. But now he has amended them. The 8 is now charge number 6, and then the number 15 count charge is charge number 7 now. I will believe that justice will be done, at least from what transpired today in court. So the matter was adjourned after reading the charge to the 29th of April.
Hold it there. They cut it down there. 29th of April, 2nd of May, and the 6th of May. The Trinity. 29th of April, 2nd of May, and the 6th of May. Fellow Biafrans, I understand what's going on. If Nigeria is wise, let them release him on the 6th of May. If that shithole called Nigeria is wise, at the end of the Trinity, the third day, it is significant. As above, so below. On the third day, Christ resurrected. This justice may not know what he's doing. He may have been inspired without knowing from the spiritual realm. He may not know fixing these 3 dates. But if he knows what is good for him and Nigeria, they should let him go on the 6th of May. Because today, they read out all the 7 charges again to him, and he said not guilty. On the 29th, they will hear his defense. On the 2nd, the justice will now call them and say, okay, I have gone through the prosecution's, stuff and your defense, and I've come to a conclusion. I've heard from both parties, and I believe I will come with a final verdict. He will then go into recess, do whatever he's doing. On the 6th of May, they will come back to hear the final hearing. That's how this should be. On the 6th, they will hear the final hearing. It can be on a different perspective. It can be that on the 29th, he may hear the defense of Nnamdi Kanu speak. On the 2nd of May, he may hear the other party speak. And on the 6th of May, he comes with a decision. Judgment. So, if Nigeria is wise, let them release him before the coming out of Simon Ekpa. Because I promise you, very, very soon, I'll be doing a countdown. I will go scientific, not spiritual. I will not pray for the release of Simon Ekpa because praying without acting does not work. I know that for the Western world, prayer does not work. It is all about the scala of events, the schedule, the task, the milestones, the targets, the thresholds that must be met in the Western world. No be prayer. To get job, no be prayer. To buy a house, no be prayer. God have mercy. To buy a car in the Western world, no be God to give house or car. If you need a house, you apply for your mortgage, have some savings that you use for your deposits, and then the rest. If your credit rating is high, you may get that loan from the bank. That's how this thing works. No man of God will come to you. You go to your broker, he helps you get, or you go to an agent, the agent now refers you to a broker, you use the broker will now go into those financial lenders, for those banks that can lend you money to buy that house. And to buy a house, what they will do is they will look how much you are making, how much you are earning in your job, in your business. And they will now multiply it by 4. The total amount is the amount they can borrow you for your mortgage. It is scientific. Not by saying, in the name of Jesus, somebody, that house is coming. You will get your house. You will get your car. The God will give you a house in the name of Jesus. That woman, that man in your business is going down. But today, the Lord has told me in the name of God, put your money in that business. And in 6 months' time, you will buy a house in the name of Jesus. Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes. Look, these are just nonsense. If I had a criminal mind, I would have been one of the best pastors in that so-called Nigeria. Because I know how many pastors, not pastor, pastors, plural, have seen the way I preach in their churches back then, or I hold an event, or I come with a band to sing, and they go crazy. And they forced me, not even tell me, they forced me to join them. But I said, no, the calling must come from God. I'm not the type that will do things for money. I'm so scared to rob the people in the name of God. I'm so scared. That's the worst crime to do, to steal from the people in the name of God. Even when I went to the Western world, I know how many pastors were disturbing me, saying, what is wrong with you? You've got the swagger. You've got the charisma. You even preach more than me. The way you move the crowd. Let us open a church in where you are based. The money is there. We shall give you the money to open a church. The last time the pressure was so much, I had to shut down my Facebook account. Because this pastor would not relent. Every day he was threatening me in the name of God. I was worried. I spoke to my parents and they told me, don't do it. A man cannot call you to do God's work. It is only God that can call you. Hence, I didn't want to be rude to block a pastor on my Facebook. The best thing I did was to exit Facebook. I shut down the account and I left because the pressure was too much. A man of God who was worth hundreds of millions, if not billions. I said, no, that's not me. That's not my calling. And with the knowledge I have now, with the knowledge of self I have now, I know we are gods, smaller gods, having a human experience here on earth. And I don't need no middleman to speak to my God or to communicate with God. So I say all that to say this. If Nigerian zoo government is wise, releasing Nnamdi Kanu on the 6th of May. If you don't, within few weeks, our Obatobie will be out. And then you'll be left again in a conundrum, in a quagmire, in a dilemma. Because the dragon will come out with more strength. The dragon I know will come out with more power, more fire. And you'll be left confused. So if you really want peace in that zoo, for us to divide respectfully, for us to go our separate ways amicably, Oyibo, for us to break away from this so-called marriage without any further blood being shed, releasing Nnamdi Kanu first. Let him touch ground. Let him feel the pulse of the people. So that when his disciple is free from Finland, the king is already out before the prince. The prince will not have to listen to the king. If the zoo is wise, if that stubbornness of Nigeria can for once listen to wisdom, releasing Nnamdi Kanu on the 6th. I will not beg for it. I will not pray for it because prayer does not work. I'm sorry. That zoo called Nigeria, every day you pray. Every day is a Sunday school. Every day you go for your evening churches and services. Every nook and cranny there's a church. Every street there's a church. Every man is a so-called man of God in that zoo called Nigeria. Yet, poverty is your best friend. Hardship is your cousin. Hunger is your nickname. So don't tell me that the God that you call every day is a blind, deaf, dumb, and a poor God. Don't tell me that. So if you know what is good for you, you let the king come out first. While the people are in joyous mood, thanking the God of Biafra that Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, is free. When the prince comes out, perhaps we will now tell the prince, Prince, come and join us to celebrate. You are free, but also the king is here with us. That might turn things around. It might tilt the way things will go. But if you allow Simon Ekpa to be freed from Finland before Nnamdi Kanu, then I want you to know that the fire and brimstone that is coming your way from the dragon, nobody can or nobody will be able to withstand it. So this is me giving you my advice pro bono, free of charge. I know the politicians in that zoo, you are old, stubborn, dirty, and criminal-minded. But if you are wise, for once, use your senses. Because the anger Simon Ekpa is coming with, the Prince of Biafra, the anger he's coming with, the vengeance, not even heavens can stop him. The vengeance he will bring when he is found not guilty in Finland. It means he now has the green light to keep doing what he's doing. So for the zoo government, if you are hearing, I know you guys, you are stubborn in hearing. All you want to hear is criminality, fraud, 419, and the rest of them. If you are wise, release the king on the 6th of May. Because within the next few weeks, the prince will be free. And that way the prince, based on the hierarchy of things, the prince may have to join us to celebrate and appreciate the king. Pure wisdom I've given to that zoo. Normally, I would say, let the dead bury the dead. Give what belongs to Nigeria, and to Biafra. But today, to show you, say we, the kind of brain when we get for our head, na computer. It is different from what you see in that zoo called Nigeria. They know that when the Biafra man rules that country, things will be good. But because of their criminality, they are criminals by nature. They are fraudsters by nature. They love crime by nature. Hence, they will not allow a holy man, a clean man, a just man to come in and sanitize the environment. Hence, we are saying enough is enough. Let us go in peace. Allow us to go in peace. Even Britain, your slave master, your colonizer, they broke away from Europe. They called it the Brexit. Britain exiting Europe. Brexit. They came with a nice word, Brexit. Nobody was killed. Nobody was jailed. No houses were burnt. No policeman did whatever to Britain or to Europe. If your slave master could act that way, if the ones that colonized you could act that way, then I'm asking, where did Nigeria, that contraption, where did they learn this culture from? This culture of hatred, criminality, genocide, brutality, sorrow, tears, and blood being their trademark, according to Fela Anikbola Pokuti. Back in the days, he sang the song, "Them leave sorrow, tears, and blood," their regular trademark. Till this day, that's still been the trademark, the signature of Nigeria. So if that zoo is smart enough, let the king go. Let the king of Biafra go. Release him on the 6th of May. If you are wise enough. To Justice James Omotosho, I know to an extent your hands are not free, but you chose to pick up this case, a very toxic case, a very dangerous case to pick up. You chose to pick it up. And you are doing a fast track on this case. I hope you will apply wisdom in handling this case. If you allow the zoo to cajole you, then you have tarnished your name, your image, reputation, your family name, even your nation's name, because if you don't know it, if the Biafra lives, eventually you will be part of the Yoruba nation. By proxy, you'll be a member, a citizen of the Yoruba nation. So we are calling upon you to do what is right. These 3 days that you picked for the case of Nnamdi Kanu, they are spiritual days. It means something in the spiritual realm. And I hope you will rethink, reconsider, and do what is right. Those 3 days you've picked will be your golden chance to change the way things are in that zoo called Nigeria. You might have the opportunity to shine. You might have the opportunity to write your name in gold. Perhaps you may be able to prove that the Yorubas are indeed the most educated, the most sensible people in that zoo called Nigeria. That's me calling a spade a spade. Because we had a woman known as Justice Binta Nyako, a Biafran woman who was married to a Fulani man. Or she was married to somebody from the north, to be more specific. And we assumed she will use empathy to follow the case of Nnamdi Kanu. But what she did was despicable. that she wasted the life of a man for 4 years? How would she feel if her son was locked up, banged up abroad for no reason? She heard the case of a man who was kidnapped from Kenya without his legal team being present. He was shackled and all that stuff, hooded to court. And she took in that case and made a pronouncement for him to be locked up in the DSS dungeon. Justice James Omotosho, this is your chance to write your name in gold. That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to beg you. I'm not here to pray to God to change your heart, to touch you in a special way. I don't believe in that nonsense. I believe that you are responsible for your actions and inactions. Hence, I'm calling upon you and upon Nigeria that enough of this nonsense. Let that man go. Let the king of Biafra go. He's got no case to answer. At this point, fellow Biafrans, I wish to digress back to the topic where I said Nnamdi Kanu did not apologize to anyone in court. It was his legal team, while they were representing him, that spoke and were magnanimous in their approach. Let's continue the video.
The other side. Can you imagine?
What is happening here? They pretended they were taking this road, but they changed and moved through a different route out of the court. Keep watching.
He was supposed to go through here.
All for one man. All this commotion for one man. Very, very sad.
I saw one on one. They won't even let us see him. He was supposed to come through here. We came here, they moved him through the other side.
Listen.
He was supposed to come through here and I leave the court through here. So when the judge left, we were supposed to enter, they wouldn't let us enter. Now he was supposed to come out through here. Because we rushed here, they had to take another way. And he has left now, we didn't even see him. He has left.
Keep watching. Keep watching. All for one man. Pandemonium for one man. There you have it, my people. There you have it. Fellow Biafrans, listeners all across the world, there you have it. In a recap, I hope I've proved to you all today, tonight, this afternoon, this morning, depending from your location, that our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, he went to court very strong and focused. He went to court today, face to face, to meet the new judge, Justice James Omotosho. And in the process, he did not apologize for his last action in the previous court hearing. Do not allow Nigerian government, the Nigerian media, to spin the news. They want to spin the news to show weakness in our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. The man I know as Nnamdi Kanu is not a man who backs down. He respects all, but he fears none. And we know everything he said in the last court hearing. They were all truth. He never told lies about Justice Binta Nyako. They held her on something. Her hands were tied. Hence, I will not blame her. My only dismay with her, my only anger, is that she should have at least find a way to get Nnamdi Kanu into a house arrest. Get him out of that DSS dungeon. Because technically you have left that man for 4 years in captivity. That is the problem. In the Western world, they do things like this sometimes. When somebody just has to be held somewhere. You want to hold him somewhere. That doesn't mean it should be in the hands of the DSS. They keep you at home. They keep you in a luxury hotel. They keep you in a monitored environment. That way you are being monitored. That's how it's done in the Western world. When they know somebody has no case, but just to keep it safe, they want him around, then you keep him somewhere with a tag. At the comfort of his home with a tag. That was the least I was expecting from you. If you are scared to set him free, then let him stay at home. Allow him to enjoy the previous bail he had. But because I know in Nigeria there is no democracy, which was why in the reign of that dead man, that dead idiot they call Buhari, in his reign, we saw what happened. When our leader was set free, discharged, they turned around and said, no, he was not acquitted. They came and they bent the hands of the law. Malami, the one they call Malami, said, yes, they said he was discharged, but he was not acquitted. Justice Binta Nyako should have known better. At that point, she should have said, okay, my hands are washed. I cannot continue in this case. I cannot be a judge to a man who has been discharged. And the so-called AGF, the Fulani man that did Islamic law, was made the AGF. A man who cannot write his names in English. A man who cannot command English was made AGF in a zoo country. And you expect Nigeria to be great. She should have recused herself at that point. But she kept on hanging in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. She kept on delaying. She kept on making pronouncements that the DSS were ignoring. And she kept on pretending like everything was fine. That was the problem I had with Justice Binta Nyako. Hence, our leader was justified for what he said in the previous case against her and against the presiding lawyer from the other end who was trying to prosecute him. Fellow Biafrans, I will leave it here. All I want to say is that we must keep our eyes on the rising sun. Keep our eyes, our focus on the rising sun. That was the ultimate commandment given to us by His Excellency, Obatobie, Agune Chamber, Wakoma. We say happy birthday to Simon Ekpa, a man we love, a man of the time, a man who was the most beloved disciple of Nnamdi Kanu. Hence, I say to the Zoo government, if you're wise, release the king before the prince is freed. Because we know whether you like it or not, from the 26th of May, our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, should be free by then, I hope. If not, his most beloved disciple, Simon Ekpa, will be coming out from freedom in Finland. And He will come with brimstones, thunder, and the flame of the dragon. The strength of the dragon. He's coming. So if you're wise, allow the king to be freed before the prince. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. Thank you. And may God bless Biafra.
Yeah, check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Lugard, Bloomington, Lord Lugard, and it's wild Flora show. 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation. Ever since annihilation, nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Oduduwa, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.